going through. There we go. Okay, there we go. Uh,
Look like a cool dude.
so cool, so cool.
Oh, it's really funny to me, actually.
Uh,
I was half expecting you to put the glasses on me, but I wasn't 100% certain whether you were gonna.
yeah, it's an easy small change. Something I wish I had done earlier. Oh, that shouldn't be going through. That'll be a bit of an echo for people later. For like 30 seconds. Whoops. Uh, I kind of maybe I'll do this later. Who knows? But I also kind of wish I had burned your bow.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because it's been a minute, but or give you some smolder, like have smoke trailing off of you or
Oh,
something. That'd be cool. That'll
yeah.
probably be next. Ivy's vibing though.
Ivy is vibing.
Honestly, like I nailed her character design with the with this second art. And now we're just waiting for something significant to happen to her that changes how she looks.
Or not.
Suddenly her trail disappears.
Oh dear.
It's replaced with starlight. Whoa. We'll see.
That would be pretty sick.
One day. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, Grimm's blue now. Oriel's blue now. It's funny. It was one of
It
the
is really
easiest art changes, and it's just like it's so impactful.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like before, Grimm was just like peppermint, but now he's
Yeah.
Colgate. Uh,
Oh, God.
Welcome is still one of the favorite designs for an NPC I've done so far. It's been
That's
very
fair.
limited, but like it was just one of those cases where it's like, damn, the culture that I am pulling from does not have like any character art based from it, so I need to start doing this myself.
Oof.
And that like otherwise there I would have like done the character art myself for a bunch of these other motherfuckers, but there was enough fantasy art out there where it's like, yeah, this works.
So my favorite thing so far right now is that you know how last time I had a giant X on my screen where the sand pit was?
Yes.
So that has loaded now this time.
And you see
But
big dragon man.
I mean, I saw him before. He was just standing on top of a giant red X.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But now, Buckham, her yes, that. Their character art is not showing up, but their token shows up.
Oh, that's dumb.
I know. I've seen their character art last time, so it's all good. I remember what they look like.
Yeah.
But like their token is just their face. And then like the character art is just an X. And I'm like, perfect.
That's big sad.
It is big sad.
Oh, she's so cool.
I like her. I like her a lot.
I'm very happy with her design.
I think the character art for each player character is very nice.
Same.
Yeah.
They turned out really good.
One of them was basically just a trace Nalius. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take credit for the other four, including Oriel. Yeah, like Nalius was dead ass just like tracing, coloring, and then some filters with the background. That was about it.
That's okay.
It works. It's a good pose.
Yep.
Don't fucking fix it if it ain't broke.
Exactly. It's what I wanted Nalius to look like, pretty much, so.
Yeah. I probably need to correct Ivy's hair color. And otherwise, yeah.
Great.
So
Great.
good.
What happened to the hair color?
No, it's just that, like, in your character descriptions and stuff, you have her hair as, like, reddish, and that's what your art on the overlay looks like. But it doesn't show in your character art. Because I use the same fucking hue for you and Nalius. So
it's, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hers is reddish.
Yeah. Ivy currently looks like a ginger when she's in fact a redhead. Much to the joy of an ex-DM.
Yes.
You don't know what we're talking about.
I do not, but I'm going to agree to it anyway.
XDM. My XDM? The XDM that I knew?
Our ex-DM.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
What? Yes, yeah.
The only time I think redheads have ever come up in our lives together, anyways.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know, it's been like almost 3 years. It's a little bit crazy at this point.
Almost 3 years that we've known each other?
Well, because we played. How long was it that we played with his campaigns? His campaigns went on forever.
James was.
I'd have to go look at when I actually started writing stuff.
Well, how long has Descent into Avernus gone?
An entire year and a bit now.
Yeah, because that was around like the time that second campaign ended.
It was after the end of his, yes.
Right. And then that only went for like 6 sessions, maybe?
That one, yes, but there was one before that.
Right, but just like building it out. Then that one before it went like... Oh, the other thing is that those were bi-weekly, I think, right?
Yeah, they were longer in between, and we also missed sessions, so it was like
right.
a month. Which means like in that time frame, like it builds up, right?
God, yeah. I can also just go to look at the beginning of my conversation with him and see how far back it goes. Fucking do-do-do. Where are you? There you are. Oh, it changes his icon.
What? Oh.
That's why it was hard for me to find it, because I'm used to like the
other one.
The face or whatever it is. I haven't played that game. God, yeah, it has been like 3 years. That's crazy.
I told you. I was like, oh dear. I was looking at it the other day. I was like, no way.
Well, he and I had started talking back in December 2018.
Before it actually was a thing. Yeah.
Right. So then from start of 2019, 2020, 2021, like 2.5 years. We're almost there. Almost.
Soon. Crazy. I think I might have to get a memorialization tattoo for that. Oh man. Actually, it's just an excuse to get another one, so.
I have a lot to prepare.
I do with tattoos. Never mind. I didn't say that. Just thinking out loud is bad.
I've tattooed myself with a stick and poke.
Ouchie.
I mean, as painful as a regular tattoo. Maybe a bit more control needed because you're doing it yourself, but yeah.
Did it come out well though?
It's fine. It sort of has like a very tightly done constellation kind of vibe, I guess. But like it does, I wouldn't say it looks good by any means. I've been meaning to get it done over for a while, but I've never been able to justify the expenses on it yet. Which was the whole point why I did a circumpoke.
The expense is ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
Not that that's bad because they are artists as well, so.
Yeah, it's totally valid. It's just not in the cards right now. Oh god, she's so cool.
You okay there?
Yeah, when I look at that art, it's just like, yes, this fits the concept that I was picturing so well. Does she suffer a bit from Asian person with purple hair disease? Yeah, a little, but it's on purpose. There is a point to it outside of just being fucking what you do with Asian characters. Apparently.
The main character.
Well,
main character syndrome.
I don't know about that. Because I mean, like, you do exist. You do be out here doing stuff.
I guess so. I suppose that is true.
Are you in between the visage of death and some lady from millions of years ago? Yeah, sure, but like, you guys.
Hey, Death is a cool dude, my friend.
Yeah, and apparently very hot once you look at him with his skin on.
Yeah.
Here. What?
Remember with the glasses I saw him?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to try, I can hand over the glasses.
No, I'm good. I don't want to go mad. Thanks. Ivy's already mad enough. I'm fine. It's a problem.
Ivy sees enough as is. She understands to hold restraint sometimes.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. The glasses probably wouldn't fit you anyway.
Oh, speaking of which, I adjusted the archivist skill tree passive a bit, just because, like, I was just sort of thinking about the frequency that you use it, as well as what you can get out of each individual attempt, and I basically just increased the rate that people can see you based on your level. Basically, like, the more power you have, the more prominent you are when you go back and look through the annals of history.
I like that.
Yeah, because, like, it tracks, as well as, like, you do it
in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to test something real quick. I'm gonna save the campaign first, but I want one of you to just try and add an item to your inventory in a second.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Boom. Nuclear bomb to the campaign.
Yeah.
Add new item. Okay.
Because, like, I still don't know why Jess, like, broke that one time.
I've changed things in, like, I put stuff into, I think it was, like, my background stuff or something.
I added an item. Showed up as a couple question marks because the way I named it. So I'm going to delete it. Oh, wait, that didn't delete it.
It's like an anomaly.
Perhaps.
How do I delete it?
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I don't know how to delete it.
Oh boy. What did you name it?
I named it Arrow Object Arrow.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't throw syntax into the names. That can fuck shit up. But you left click to open it up, and then there's a remove option. I just deleted it.
Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Now it's opening up. Wasn't opening up when I was clicking on it.
Maybe it's because I'm host. Who knows? Yeah, don't put syntax into the item names.
I was trying to be a dork.
No. Bad.
So you're talking about
hit you with a newspaper.
Ouch. Sad.
Yeah, so you click equipment and then it brings up add equipment, and then you click into the add new. Oh god, now I need to fucking go in and delete object from the compendium.
Oh, I can add new, like there's a whole list of it. Like
yes.
I can add ew, assassin's blood. Gross.
Is that the poison that you have? Yeah.
Correct.
Gross.
That's
wait, is it the poison or is it the venom? Which one is it?
There is actually, I think this is an adventuring gear. Assassin's blood is the ingested. The serpent's venom, is that what it was? What was it called? Do you have that, or does Grimm have that?
What?
The poisons.
I don't have the poisons.
I must have just never added them to Grimm's sheet. Assassin's blood, and yeah, I think it was serpent's venom. Should have been, if I'm remembering things right, or maybe I just forgot to add it. Who knows? Injury. Huh, what is that called? I could go back in the VOD, or I could just open up my DMG and fucking remember what I looked at. Yeah, I feel like it was serpent venom. Did I really not add that to the compendium? Oh, I should do a fucking search. Venom. Fucking song lyrics. No, I did not. Crazy. Okay.
You're forgetting to put angle brackets, that's why.
I don't know what that means.
The bracket that I put in the object name.
A less than and more than sign.
Mm-hmm.
What? I mean, I know what Nalius is saying, and for you to... that was too funny, oh my gosh.
Can you tell that I'm not a programmer?
Oh, I'm not either, but that was hilarious. A less than a more than... Oh gosh, that was great.
I would argue that I am not a
Oh.
programmer either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm purely masquerading as one.
As am I, purely masquerading as a DM.
Skills. You don't actually need to actually be a DM. You can just fake it. It'll be fine.
It's true.
It's been working out for me so far.
I was gonna say, the players will eat that shit
There
up.
you go. As long as the players believe you that when you say yours.
Yeah, no one's called me on it yet.
Yep.
Yet.
I mean, damn, do you think how my first sessions went? Shit. I was faking all of it. I was just like, I don't fucking know. Because one of the group members of the friend group needed to be the DM, and I was the one who was chosen, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
because
I was better at storytelling than everybody else.
Yeah, I usurped my DM.
It's a good that having that skill is very helpful.
Yes.
It does help a lot to be able to just talk and make up random stuff and then put it into a story somehow that all cohesively works together.
Yes.
Alright, and now I can add that sheet. Beautiful. And now we wait some more. Do 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 do.
I don't know why that code isn't working the way it's supposed to.
Ugh. I wish I could increase my scroll sensitivity so that I could just really make everyone go ham all at once.
The characters flipping around, you mean? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, instead I just have to hold shift and settle for 4 static phases.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't like just spin the mouse around rather than scroll. That would be funny. You know what I do like about map tools? When you go into it, there's that image on the back of I don't even know what it's related to, but I like it.
Map tool image on the back. What?
Yeah, it's like a background image. I don't even know if I'm assuming it's part of map tools rather than you.
Oh, when you open up map tool just straight up and it's just like the grassy field. Yeah.
No. Hang on.
Or are you talking about the start page?
The start page where it says start here.
Yeah.
4 of us there, D&D, and then in the background there's like faded images of a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, a bunch of different characters and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like probably from or means something, but I don't know the meaning. I like it.
That was actually, I think, just put here by the person who made the framework, which actually I'll go ahead and plug now since we're hanging out and waiting and whatever. This framework for map tool brought to you by Art Takahara on Patreon. Super cool dude, has some tutorials up on YouTube to actually be able to use this framework. It's what enables the character sheets as well as the constructing of your own compendium and initiative tracker and easy level up, as well as implementation of your own homebrew subclasses and whatever. It's really cool and very cool of him to have put it on GitHub for free. So if anyone watching out there wants to start using map tool and also have a character sheet with it, check out our Takahara on GitHub as well as Patreon. Throw him some money. Yeehaw.
Very well done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I am here to shill for the people who enable me to do what I do.
I mean, it is. I like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
really
couple
good.
things that I don't like, but it's more the ability to go check stuff on when it's not up.
And now
That's
we
pretty
return. Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip.
Same though.
Yeah.
Everybody is going to puke in a second.
Oh god, I overloaded it so much. I'm just looking at it on the stream and okay, now it's back to going slow. Like I had started doing that like a clean 15 seconds before it had taken effect and caught up.
I like how Death is spinning too.
Yeah, it's more noticeable with him because he has a square instead of a circle.
Yeah.
You really get to feel the body tilt like, huh? Wait, really? Huh. I never thought about it like that. Shit. Or wait, what the fuck am I doing? Huh. Really? That's crazy. Wow. Anyways.
We're still spinning on my screen.
Oh, seriously? Oh, damn, that looks slick as hell on stream. I'm not gonna lie.
They're slow spinning now, yeah.
Yeah, slow spinning. Back and forth.
I have initiated the slow spinning once more. You know what? I should actually enable the music right now. Whoops. Yeah, just like have that on low. Sure. Maybe a little lower. But yeah, you know, just like have everyone vibing to chill lo-fi tunes. Fuck it.
Yeah. Death be loving that lo-fi.
Ah, damn, now I want the oh god, what the fuck did I even call it? Now I just want the writing and progress scene to just be like Death at a desk just writing with headphones on. That'd be cool as hell.
Do it. Do it. Write it. Write it? I mean, draw it. Oof. Oh god, we're spinning again.
Yeah, it's a bit more of like a... It's more hop than lo-fi.
It looks like we're rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
We're back on a ship in... Oh dear. In the middle of her-
Actually, I wonder if this is even loud enough to be caught on stream. It is not.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a root beer.
All right.
This stream brought to you by 1919 root beer. It's delicious. Go buy some.
Server just disconnected for me.
Oh shit.
Yes, I see that.
Too much spinning.
Perhaps. Honestly, legitimately, perhaps.
Considering my internet and that distance and all of that extra stuff, that is probably.
I pay good money for good internet.
We don't have an option where.
That's fair.
We would pay good money for good internet if we could. We pay good money for meh internet.
Oof.
Yeah. Well, funny though.
I'm over here paying out the ass, and whenever it stops working, I get really pissed because I'm like,
that would
holy
be
shit.
more annoying. Yeah. That'd be even worse.
Especially since the charge went up recently. Hello?
Heyo.
Hello.
The dance party has ceased for a moment as I figure... Oh, right, that's delayed. Hang on, are you actually on the OBS though? Okay, cool, yeah. Never mind, the dance party does not continue because we actually have everyone here. Well, everyone that's going to be here. Ugh. Once you actually get in. we today will be doing a little bit of time hopping because what's going on here with Kaiza and the sword and Vorkam is something that I want Jewel here for, so instead we will go about the rest of things. And I'll just kind of lay this out as a meta concept. So you guys are about to get some downtime. This will offer up either time for you to train, research, whatever. When you get back to the first layer, you will find Pagliacci and Locke doing stuff, but you will also find that your cart has been stolen. I wonder by who. So, your mass provisions of water, Donnie's suitcase, everything that was there, including some of the investments that you made back in Viewport or Port View, whichever, are currently absconded away by probably some drow dickhead. You are able to transport between the archive and here. It seems that time spent in what we'll call the time vault for the sake of expediency is slightly dilated. A week outside, or like in the actual material plane, is equal to a month in here.
Oh shit.
So the people here, and I don't want to go through the proper in-character explanations for all of this because I want Jewel to be here to hear that, because I don't want to have the same conversation twice. So I'm giving you guys the abridged version. You can train with some of the people here. They would like to train you upon hearing your mission and thinking about the long-term consequences and benefits of sedating the Wilderlands and sanctifying the Nexuses, and in order to pursue the full threat of the and also they would like to train you because their ways are ancient but also effective and have the magic of the gods that they heralded behind them. And also, if the people here die, then their traditions will be lost with them. So they want to train people in order to have their ways not be forgotten. Past that, you guys get to determine how much downtime you actually want to take, because the things that are going on in the world are still advancing, but readying yourselves seems like the most viable option, especially since your form of transport has been taken. And yeah, you could just hoof it, but Sicht has a lead on you to wherever it is that he's going, and depending on how long you spend here, different consequences will arise. So we can discuss this. You guys can discuss this in character minus Kaiza's input. If you guys can unanimously agree to something, that works out great. Otherwise, have at it. And if there are any clarifying questions you want to ask, go for that too.
Are we supposed to be seeing a map right now? Or anything?
Maps specifically don't matter at this point. You can be on...
Just kind of like, okay.
You effectively have free range of the archive. And you can also come here to the time vault.
I assume we don't need to know who we're looking for. We just say what we want, and then...
Yeah.
Potentially find it? Okay.
Whether if it's information from history that you want to find out, or if there are specific techniques or something that you picked up from previous sessions that you want to look into more, there are a lot of options, and there is going to be some amount of set aside time from the amount of time you decide to take, just because of unforeseen consequences of retroactively doing the past and stuff.
Yeah.
So what we do today will probably amount for at least 2/3 of your time spent at the archive. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we should train or ready ourselves
Agreed.
for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a way to do?
Jess, can you say something really quick?
Hello.
Okay. I gotta turn you up slightly, sorry.
You're fine.
I think it was the phone yesterday was a lot louder, so I turned
Oh,
it down.
yeah, that's fair.
And now I can't hear anything. Shoot.
I'm going to move over all of the NPCs from the time vault, just for the sake of efficiency. Big boy. God, he's so
Big.
He's so
Biggin.
fucking big. That's bigger than a Tarrasque.
Really?
Yeah, because Tarrasques are only gargantuan. Well,
Shit.
regular Tarrasques.
Only gargantuan.
Yeah, that man's Titanic, baby. Oh, and
We're missing a tall.
Yeah, he's there. You just can't see him yet. I'm fitting everyone in.
Got it.
From the shadows. Hwah!
Same.
We flip these 4. There we go. Okay. So, out of these people, Valerius is willing to accept challenges from any of you, provided that you are big enough, which currently none of you are. Perhaps there are ways to do that. Who knows? Raelynn, who you guys haven't talked with yet, but he's a dual wielder. He has a sword and an axe rather than the sword as the 2 swords as it's shown in his character art. Can train in the way of the Winders, which is a 2-weapon style using a sword and an axe. Welcome. Can train people in the way of the Peng, which is a single weapon style built around. It's basically analogous in some sense to karate, in that it's more of a self-defense art and built around settling situations rather than finishing them, so to speak. Jill can research because she is interested in what has actually gone on in history over time, but can also train people in where the there we go. Can also train people in the Way of the Rin, which is essentially an assassination style and sneaking style built around heavy crossbows. And there's Cal, who can train people in the Way of the Aster, which is how the fuck do I describe this? Which is essentially being a paladin, more or less, but it requires wielding a shovel, which would be a proficiency to train in while gaining the way. Gallios can train people in the Way of sorry, there are a couple of these. The Way of the Nugali, which is built around consorting with a familiar or companion at Fae.
Yeah.
And then Muta can train someone in either the Way of the Pigson or the Way of the Mutin, which is essentially can train in light bending and manipulation and all that jazz and actual sun soul shit, or just being a big strong motherfucker that crushes skulls. And then Etal can train people in the Way of the Shadow Walker, which is using the shadows and being a bit of a daredevil and fucking around. He has a very laid back style that is very effective, yet very hard to take seriously until it starts fucking you up, as noted by last session when Nalius could not put up a solid guard against it.
Yeah.
And then Death can train people in the Way of the Azael, which is it requires being, it essentially is about manifesting light into power, but separately. It follows much in the way of Aasimar in that sense. Like the way that Aasimar spread their wings and become more proficient in combat when in that state. It is very much about that. There is other stuff to do as well. If you want, you can explore maps and poke at things and see what happens. Up to you. That's just what's up here. There's still the different levels of history and whatnot. What you want to do is up to yourselves. I just want to get these out of the way first because they are proper people and resources and shit.
Are they all actually chilling in this area?
No, this is just for the sake of efficiency.
Yeah.
Have everyone on the same page, so to speak.
Makes sense.
I mean, Valerius would be crushing shit if he was over here, so you know.
Yeah, he's not allowed in the Temple of Mortals.
Can I have access to my token?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, cool. I have access to mine.
And Oriel. There you go.
So you said Dijal has crossbow stuff, right?
Yes.
Ooh, I do like that.
Ambushing, assassinating, all that jazz.
Like that.
Do you want us to go one at a time, probably to make it easier?
If you have something, do it. It seems like people are sussing out what they want to do, but if you have something, go for it.
No, I don't particularly. I'm just.
Why do I have ingested assassin's blood and serpent venom in my inventory?
Because I don't recall if you gave that to Nalius or not.
Oh, the poisons, that's what they are. Okay.
Yes. Because I think I forgot to put them in your inventory at some point.
Well, I think I want to split my training between 2 people, and I also do want to explore the archives a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to train with Dejal and Ital.
All right. Interesting. Now, splitting time is subjective. I think one of the first things we want to do when it comes to that is decide how much time you guys want to allot for staying here in IRL time, quote unquote. Because time that passes here is separate from the time spent out there.
Right. A month in here is a week out there.
Correct.
How much time do we want to spend here?
How long does it take to train one of the things that we're talking about?
For training, in a way, it will be a series of checks, and each check takes up a week, and you need to amass 3 failures, basically because you need to allow yourself to think differently and fuck up, basically. And so with each week is a check.
Well, then I do not want to split my time. I think I'll stick with just Dejal.
Yeah.
And then I'll split my time in the archive, obviously, the other time spent.
Okay. So we will pair up Alias with Giles.
What's Grimm doing?
I don't know what anybody teaches because I couldn't see them.
I'm not sure.
Oh, are you not here? Sorry.
I wasn't for the longest time.
I see.
I didn't have possession of my token.
Gotcha. My bad. You can fight him if you're big enough. Teaches 2-weapon fighting as well as the Way of the Winders, which is a sword and axe. Teaches the Way of the Pang, which is karate but with 1 sword. Teaches assassination with crossbows and slinking in the shadows. Halfling paladin shit. Beastmaster shit. Sunsoul shit, or big buff Rex Skulls shit. Shadow walking shit. Asimar shit.
Okay.
I have a question, or maybe 2.
Yeah, sure.
So Ivy technically would be interested in the companion stuff and familiar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With Neural. However, she also has a lot of questions about her starry forms and where they come from and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Would anybody here even know about that, or would it be better for her, like, logically to just do the companion stuff?
The starry stuff would best be known by out of these motherfuckers. Cal would know, or at least be the closest to.
Okay.
This lady. Shuffle Knight looking ass.
But it takes a certain amount of time in order to... I'm just going to go with the companion stuff.
Okay. You guys still haven't decided how much time outside of here that you would like to spend.
Well, I don't think we can afford to spend more than a week.
In here or a week?
No,
out
like
there?
a month here would to be a week out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like real life week, that's a week that we're not working towards one of the points, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know if we can go more than that. So like a month down here, maybe month and a half at the most. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thoughts, mes
And
amis?
I like the idea of a month, month and a half. I
I was
definitely
gonna
think
say
we should.
max. Go. Sorry, you weren't done.
Oh, I definitely think we should spend some time in the archive too, though.
History.
I was gonna say a max of 2 weeks out.
Yeah, okay. Which gives us time to be down here, train, and then go to the archive as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the histories of these people is relatively foggy. Crazy.
Weird.
The whole place is relatively foggy. But yes. We fell down a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Jess, what's it like being Colgate?
Sorry.
You're Colgate.
Hmm.
Mm.
Actually,
Anyway, have your paladin cast remove curse already.
I super like the blue with the white. It looks nice. It's I like it. Who are you talking to, Grimster?
I mean, there's only one person that makes sense if I'm going to talk to the one of.
Isn't there like a stabby boy? Like, so this one, the one
And
you're
the
in front of
only
right
one
now.
that.
But there's also, isn't this one like a shadowy, like,
If you're pointing at someone, I can't see it. You gotta hold
I
space.
wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to. I moved Grimm.
No, I am, but it's not actually. Nothing happens when.
Oh, there we go.
Oh. So this one, isn't this a shadowy fighting thing where you kind of blink around people and?
When he was fighting Nalius, he was just moving quickly and fucking coming in from the sides and shit.
Okay.
But he is also a Wave Shadow Monk.
Okay.
As well as can help train in monk proficiencies.
I mean, the only one that makes sense for Grimm is to go against Valerius, right? Actually, no,
Yeah,
that's the one for
obviously.
Faye. That's the one for Faye.
Yes.
Me and my 8 strength score will do very well there.
Yeah, I should totally fight the ginormous dude. Ivy
Yeah.
would be great with that.
Yep.
I want to pull up the grid real quick just to show how big.
Pretty sure I'm the size of the nostril on that image.
His stance is like 20 by 20.
Him a lord boy.
Yes. And his sword is like the size of a building. Very fun. Anyways. Alright. Grimm, you seek to train with the Raelynn, who's a bit of a militaristic dude. Not so much in like you're on the ground, maggot, but more in just like very structured and like is definitely a good teacher, but is very, what's the term I'm looking for? Very no nonsense. You can crack a joke and stuff, but when shit's going down, it's going down.
You say that like Grimm is it the same way?
Mood. I was saying those two are a perfect fit.
Yeah.
What does Oriel want to do?
Have a character sheet. What do you mean? She.
Doesn't she have to follow Grimm around? She can do her own thing?
Yeah. She can move.
Huh.
I mean, literally none of those fighting styles have anything to do with her, so she'll, I guess, research.
Hang out
What
waiting
about
for
Nyril?
books.
What about Naira? What do they want to do?
Rael's not even a researcher.
No, but she has, in essence, like, outside of here, which you would also note upon, like, leaving and coming back, is that when you leave, Oriel comes with you. She is only manifested here while you are here.
And is she a ghost in the real world? That's not helpful. Okay.
Maybe. As far as she understands, that's the closest that it is, but it doesn't feel the same. Because usually, if that were the case, she would be able to, like, possess you and impact on your stuff, but she doesn't have that kind of grip.
Okay, but she is a transparent person instead of in my head.
Right here.
Cool. That's what. So not, but not there.
I have everyone here can fucking make themselves a little bit transparent.
Okay,
None of them
but
are
in the
really
real,
here.
in the
Yes.
real world, Oriel is not there or is there?
She
That
is
is my
only in
question.
your head.
Thank you.
Yes. She does not follow you like a spectral mist outside of the time vault.
Okay, that was my question.
Yes.
Yes.
Which actually also means that she can read your books for you. The ones that you already have, anyways. As well as maybe a How to Teach for Dummies. So yeah, you sort of have double time, as does Faye, sort of. Except for the Beastmaster training, which does require both her and Nyril. But yes, okay. So we have Grimm training with Raelynn. We have Nalius training with Jel in the Way of the Rin. And we have Ivy and Nyril training with Galios and Roscoe in the Way of the Nogali. Raelynn and the Way of the Winders. Okay, so what each of you are going to do is Grimm, you are Grimm and Nalius. No, actually, these all have separate shit. Sorry. Grimm, you are going to make 2 attack rolls per check, and those together averaged will be your check for that roll. For that check.
That's my normal weapon?
Yes. Well, no. One of them will be with an axe, so that will be different. I'll set up a macro for you real quick. Yeah, that works.
Is an axe a simple weapon?
Yeah, I have given you the attack is your attacking with an axe. So in that way, it's actually easier for you to fail because you are String Bean. Nalius, what you will do is make a stealth check and an attack roll. The attack roll will be straight. It won't benefit from advantage or anything because this is abstracted.
And for an attack roll, what am I attacking with?
With your longbow.
Got it.
Just because it's the same attack roll as if you were attacking with a heavy crossbow. And then Ivy, you and Nyril each will make a wisdom check. Or actually, no, charisma check.
Okay.
As your personalities are properly like clashing and trying to cooperate with each other and trying to get over each other. And then the average of those rolls will be what you need to beat. these DCs start out at 10, then they go up to 15, and then they go up to 20 with each quote-unquote successful check. All right, so Neryl and Ivy go to 27 divided by 2, 13. Ivy, you're overpowering the training itself. The first week goes by relatively well, but it feels like you're not really getting anywhere. Nalius, make your stealth check and attack roll, please.
Alright. Shit, my stealth check is gonna maybe not be high.
Oh,
I hit it
no.
twice.
You sure did. Nalius, you're so set in the way that you have hidden and shot before with hunting animals and such in Vonenheim, to the point that you're not really listening to what Jell is teaching you. And as such, a week goes by, and while you feel like you're doing well, your progress does not inform such a thing. Grimm, make an attack roll with your katana, and then one with the hand axe. Nice. Damn. It's really hard to roll low. How the fuck did I think that this was a good mechanic? Especially with stuff that you're already good at. Sorry, let me rethink my structure real quick.
You could take our numbers at disadvantage.
Yes. Yes, you have the good things. You have the big brain.
I'm glad.
Because that's a thought I've had as well with like as a teenager, one time I went to Ren Fair. I wasn't hugely happy with the experience despite how I am currently. But when I was there, I partook in a fencing bout kind of thing. The deal was that each person had a helmet, as well as regular safety gear. But on either side of the helmet was a balloon, and the goal with each round was to pop the other person's balloon. And once both of your balloons were popped, the bout was over. Whoever still had balloons won. And I found it exceptionally hard because I had actually trained as in fencing. And the thing is that one of the things you're supposed to avoid with fencing is what's called, I think it's called whipping. It's been a minute. But basically taking wide strikes, slashing, that's what it is. You're supposed to avoid slashing because it's not sportsmanlike or whatever. And the thing was, in order to succeed at this task, you had to slash, and stabbing was not the opportune way to do it. And so because of that, I lost and realized that. So yes, we'll go with disadvantage numbers. That's a good idea. Nalius, you average a 10, which means you still succeed, unfortunately. With Neryl, 8 and a 12. Damn, you also got a 10. Shit. And then Grimm, you actually get through your first week doing pretty solid. You are learning well. You feel your brain growing. It's nuts. Now for the second round. Second week in the time vault, where you also conveniently don't need to eat.
Who wants to do their checks first? I guess I'll go.
Okay. All right, 8 for stealth. Damn. You are too good with your bow. You're too strong.
Keep on hitting the bow twice.
Yes. you're finally starting to pick up the bit with stealth and moving as Gel does and such. But when it comes to shooting, you are firing off opportunistically rather than taking the patience that Gel is trying to instill in you. Who's next?
Second. Oh, Grimm's got it. Ooh, 23.
Ooh. Thankfully, Grimm, you are onto the second stage, so the DC you're trying to fall below is a 15. And now that you have gone along with the program further, the axe in your hand still weighs a bit. You wish that it had like either a hollow flat or maybe even just like a fuller, like on some swords. But you're still sticking with it. Your offhand is growing stronger. It's a good time. And then Faye and Nerl. I can roll for Nerl.
What are we doing?
Charisma checks, yes. All right, there we go. You're finally beginning to allow, rather than leading the charge yourself, you're allowing to read where Nerl is pushing towards, and Nerl as well is still welcome to follow your lead when it feels appropriate. So you move up to the DC 15, and the only one left still at the DC 10 is Nalius.
Grimm. No? Nalius?
No, Grimm is at 15.
Who went up
He
on the first
failed the
round,
first
yeah.
one, yeah. And now we enter the third week. Grimm, have at it. Or Nalius,
I already
either
went.
or. Hell yeah. All right.
Get it.
9 on the
That's nice.
stealth.
Oh,
Oh.
that's an attack roll.
That's damage. 13, 12, damn. 11. You are going to get a little frustrated now because you're getting the steps down, but every time that a shot is lined up properly, you end up waiting too long and your target is lost using fucking illusion magic or whatever. And it's this point of like too little, too late, or too early, too late. And it's just rocking that border of gritting frustration. Grimm. Make your final attack rolls. Beautiful. 7, 7, 7, 7. Arcanum fans, go watch their stream, his stream. It's cooler and better, probably. You mark off your third week with Raelynn, and your offhand is now on par with your right hand. You gain the 2-weapon fighting style, as well as some other cool shit when you, one, follow the taboos of the Way of the Winders, which is essentially Geneva Convention, more or less, of only fighting trained combatants, do no harm to enemies who surrender, and not kill or torture any person in your custody. In return, you gain another +1 bonus to AC, 2-weapon fighting, and some fighting maneuvers, which I will add to your sheet by the time it is relevant. But the cool stuff is Brace, Commander's Strike, Menacing Attack, Rally, and Trip Attack. You have evolved into Warlord. And Ivy and Nerl.
I'm really good at doing poorly.
Oh dear.
That's nice. That's nice. Damn it, Nerl. Oh
It's
wait,
under
no,
50.
that works. Good job, Nerl. Now it's leaning into the point where Nerl is actually taking charge a lot more than you are, and McFucking Gallius is kind of like trying to call it, but in the situations where it happens, it still works, and you guys are trusting with each other and vibing, and it's all really cool. And now we enter into the 4th week. Grimm, you have completed your training, so you can spend that time elsewhere with someone else if you wanted, or researching or something else. Nalius, you make your stealth check and that attack roll.
I don't succeed.
Well, that's a 7. And give me that attack roll.
Told you I don't succeed.
At this point, Jell is like, got her head in her hands, and it's just like, okay, just had a whole generation. Why isn't it working here? Happening. Okay. Brushes off her pants and tries to devise another teaching method. And Ivy and Neural, DC 20. Ooh, that's good, that's good.
Oh my gosh, Neural.
Hell yeah. And now at this point, Neural taking the advice from Gallios and Roscoe of letting you take the lead absolutely does nothing, and you're training those habits of directing them, and it's super vibin'. With the Way of the Nogali. Did I have this in? I did not. Okay. You gain the benefits of the Way of the Nogali while you and your companion are within 10 feet of each other. While you meet these circumstances, you both have a +2 to AC. You have advantage while on attacks while you're within 5 feet of the same creature. And you also get maneuvers that can be used by you or your animal companion. However, you can't use them on anyone else. Those are Bait and Switch, Commander Strike, Distracting Strike, Maneuvering Attack, Rally. So
You can use it on your companion. What does that mean?
So like in the case of Commander Strike or Maneuvering Strike, those are like directing someone else to attack. So you can't do that with other people, but you can do it with Neural.
Okay.
Yeah. And so with the 4th week, Ivy and Neural have taken on the Way of the Nogali.
Are you adding this to the sheet? Because I'm...
Yeah, it'll be in between weeks because it's kind of in-depth thing to add in, because also the compendium doesn't have battle maneuvers right now because it doesn't have the Battlemaster subclass, so I'll probably add that on first and have it somehow linked to it. I'll figure it out. Grimm, how would you like to spend this 4th week?
I want to clarify something from last week.
Sure.
So when I turned blue, you said my tattoos became visible-ish?
Yes. So before they seemed to be invisible while your skin was white, but now that it has shifted to blue, it appears that they are a bit lighter, almost as if they are contrasted more on the darker skin.
Okay. I mean, time's word anyway, but probably one of the first things he would have done is, like, study them for the first time.
Oh, okay. Cool. Go ahead and make... Do you have proficiency in history? I don't think so.
History, no.
But you do have proficiency in Arcana.
I do.
Off the bat, you're able to recognize infernal runes and infernal and abyssal runes and symbols. I haven't fully detailed each of them because there are specifics to each of them. But you also note that there are symbols in Giant, Elvish, Dwarvish, Sorry. 1 second.
Close my window. People are outside in the fucking pool.
Bastards.
I know.
But yes, I will give you information on those by next week. Add that to my to-do list for next week. Grimm runes, languages, and meanings. Yes. So you are able to now discern them and can read from them and potentially play with them. We can work out some abstractions right now if you want to do that playing right now, or you can elect to do something else. Up to you.
I'd also... That stone that's supposed to suppress wild magic, I would like to identify that. Some point.
Yes. Absolutely. You also notice while casting in this space that you don't trigger wild magic, period.
Grimm doesn't. That's surprising.
Correct. Where the fuck did I not make it a proper item? Hang on. I must not have. Really? I did not. Okay. I can give you the description though anyways. It is a mirror focus. Damn it, that's right, his body isn't here anymore. Shit. It is a mirror focus, and basically it gives you advantage on the wild magic checks, but once you trigger a wild magic search, it shatters. It requires attunement, but yes. If you were to do some like cost benefit analysis on it, it would become apparent to you that if you used it relative to someone else, it would shatter much more quickly.
Grimm also thinks it would kill him, so I would give it to Ivy.
What?
You have the necklace that gives you advantage against wild magic searches.
Really? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she still hasn't triggered one.
No. She's the only full caster of the group, so.
That's true.
Totally, completely randomly.
Yeah, I will write that up and add that.
Being actually able to cast spells and not trigger, or be at advantage is good, though.
Oh, no, it does exist. Sorry. It is a fractal focus. My bad. I will read out the full description. This crystal spirals erratically and can be used as a holy symbol by the clergy of Thurisdun and as a druidic focus or arcane focus. When you cast a spell using this crystal and it would be affected by wild magic, roll the wild magic check at advantage. If the wild magic surges, the fractal focus shatters. And then other fuckery to do with how holy symbols work. And we will move this to Ivy. There you are. So poking around with your runes will honestly probably relatively be very quick. Well, make an investigation check at advantage for the researching because you have proficiency in Arcana. 21 works, yeah. That'll take about 2 days out of that week.
Okay. I guess I'd probably spend the rest of that week Which I'm thinking this is the first week.
Sure. Yeah.
Time doesn't really matter right now. I'd
Yeah.
spend the rest of that week like in the magic section trying to decipher as much as I can about them.
I'm saying that even just the 2 days is enough time deciphering stuff on them. Activating them, however, or trying to call them on demand rather than with wild magic searches, if you wanted to try and do that you can spend your additional time on.
So I know what they mean, and you're going to send those to me. Okay.
Yes, I don't have them immediately prepared. It's one of the things that's been on my to-do list, and I gambled this week, and I gambled poorly. Also, I just realized how fucking quiet it is. One sec.
I would just read my books.
Which one?
I would start with the Red Sash and the Blood Dealer.
Ooh, okay. Very nice, very nice. Very cool, very nice, very cool. Where the fuck is this? Rhythm bot, what the fuck?
Who ended up with that staff?
Or asks for it. Grimm doesn't want it.
You have it though, right?
Yes.
So, I don't know if this is okay, but at some point, having seen this staff, Ivy might ask about it because of the. You said it has a crescent moon on top, right?
Correct.
Just curious because she is very into artifacts, and it looks star funky.
I can share that with you.
Mostly, do you know anything about this? Have you identified it?
That's to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've identified it, yes. And I will tell Ivy what it does.
Are you gonna use it? Because I mean, I may be able to use it if you don't want to.
It's not really my style. Like, free to take it.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks. She will take it. Did you tell her what it does?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I'm just not going to read this whole thing off to you.
That's fine. I don't remember.
I see.
Thank you.
If I had something to give you in trade, I would, but currently I don't have any. So, weapon.
Not a big deal. You're
back from you.
Why is everything so fucking loud? I have you on 1%. You have no right to be that loud.
Are you talking about Rhythm Bot?
Yes.
It's always like that, yeah.
And the one that I wanted to play for some reason is being glitchy. So now I need to go back and look at my links. Nalius, would you like to continue your pursuit in the Way of the Rin, or would you like to throw in the towel and try for something else?
I'm stubborn. I'll continue.
Very well.
Gotta get a 1 sometime.
Problem is that her, the problem is that her attack roll is fucking nuts, and her dex ain't bad either.
+7.
The problem is that you're proficient in both things, much in how I was proficient in fencing. It is very hard to break those ingrained habits.
Can we see that Nalius is struggling with their training and go and pester them and distract them and give them disadvantage and be like, ha ha ha, and be like, you could do it, but then they actually.
Well, Nalius is already rolling disadvantage, but I like where you are headed. You can participate as essentially the victim, and give Nalius a -5 to the rolls.
I can do that.
Sure. All right. So with week 6, you finally make some headway with the use of Ivy as the victim. It oddly works out better because for some reason you have a hard time focusing on something when you know it's an illusion, but when it's real, then it kicks in of just like, oh, okay, I actually have a visual identifier of when this works and when it doesn't, because Ivy, being an astute person, while also being flighty, can actually attempt to track where you are. And as such, you finally make your breakthrough.
Roll again.
Well, we have 2 weeks to amount for. So Ivy is spending time with Nalius. Also, well, hang on. Jill is training Nalius, so she can't spend time researching. So the rest of these people are currently free. Move them back over here. Move him like an inch back. Grimm, you have 2 weeks of doing stuff. Oh right, you started reading the Red Sash and the the other one. The Red Sash and the Blood Dealer. Yes, question. Shoot.
So we don't need to eat here. Do we need to sleep?
Yes.
Can I
Although
sleep
you,
normally?
no.
Fuck.
Sorry, bud.
Oh man.
However,
Grimm's cranky.
indeed. However, in this time, you also are capable of amassing several concentration checks in order to actually attempt to sleep. Just roll me, like, roll Constitution saving throws until I ask you to stop. Okay, stop.
My God.
I think you actually got it on the first 3. Yeah, you did.
You underestimated how fast that could
Wow.
click.
Truly, apparently.
Oh wow.
You gain access to the elfish trance, which Auriel is very peculiar about, because looking at you, you don't have full elvish blood, and even if you did, you're still a tiefling who typically aren't able to tap into that kind of power. So it's very curious that you're able to do such things.
The 4-hour trance for sleeping?
Correct.
Not sleep? Cool.
And it feels like sleep now, or it still doesn't?
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. It's not sleep like you're accustomed to. It's still like you go into that red storm, basically, but effectively it's like lucid dreaming. You're able to actually adjust the scenery to some extent, and feel like you're resting. It's difficult to explain. It's like you're turning off your conscious brain and are instead just using your unconscious brain, and because of that, it allows you, for when you return, to feel well rested. It's still unnerving and even like perspective breaking sometimes to have a continuous stream of consciousness going for so long, but it isn't leaving you feeling cranky or anything from lack of sleep.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, you have 2 weeks to spend reading the Red Sash and the Blood Dealer. Make an investigation check, straight roll.
I think I should have advantage. Ariel's helping me.
That was great.
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it. That works. That works for me. I'll accept your bullshittery this time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This time. You learn of the identities of the Red Sash and the Blood Dealer. The Red Sash was a dragonborn abolitionist monk from Esther. A human dragonborn, so a human with draconic features that was still descended of a dragon. They followed the way of the Blue Dragon. Their mentor and parent, Namphon the Blue, raised them apart from the Jinni kingdoms that existed at the time. You would place this during the Age of Elemental Slavery, i.e. the time when the layer where you met Dahlia. But Namphon raised Kamsen separately from them to help the world and see it survive. While the genies grew the populace to combat the Many-Eyed One, Namphon raised Kamsen to ensure the world was worth living in. This led to a deconstruction of the genie institutions and the end of the Age of Elemental Slavery. And the peculiar part of the part of note to you as to why someone following the way of the Blue Dragon is called the Red Sash is because they wielded red lightning. Kamsen was a force of control and tempestuous power. They had a calm exterior, but just beneath the surface was a power brimming at the seams. Kamsen practiced movement meditation, like Tai Chi and stuff like that, expelling the fringe energies and replacing them with a calm drive. And then there's the Blood Dealer, Frodthor Steelfist. He was a dwarvish fire genasi warlock of the Ifrit. He was born in the dwarvish kingdom of Calibira. He was the product of an alliance formed between the Steelfists, the rulers at the time, and the Ifriti that had come from the elemental plane and had imposed their rule on it in order to combat the Many-Eyed One. Fraud Thor did not buck against the trends, was an elemental champion themselves, but did not ultimately complete it, it would seem. Was not one of the final combatants. However, was indeed another individual with red lightning, and as such, he wielded fire and lightning themselves together, unleashing both without any care for who got hurt, whether that was civilians, the people under his charge, anybody. And you notice a duality between these two. One who used their powers for good, and the other who couldn't have cared less. Nalius, give me another stealth check and attack roll with -5 and at disadvantage.
Okay.
Good.
-5 and at disadvantage.
Hey. With the 7th week, Ivy and now Neryl are amping up what's going on with the added stress of hiding from Neryl, who's way more perceptive than has any justification, always seems to be picking you out, and as such you need to adapt much more stringently, and you do so effectively. We'll say Grimm likes reading, right? And with the fucking 23, we'll say the Red Sash and the Blood Dealer was one of your weeks. So now currently you have 2.
Okay. I will read another one of my books.
Which one?
I will read Sources of Magic.
Ooh. Okay. Give me an investigation check at advantage. Not because Oriel is helping you, but simply because you have proficiency. 19. Oriel will bump that to a 20. It's fine. With this, you read into the sources of magic. And it mainly revolves around 4. That being arcane magic, primordial magic, divine magic, and eldritch magic. Arcane magic being the magic of the world that was formed into a weave by the early wizards and sorcerers to be a force drawn on by anyone who wished to. It is a mortal construct built as such in order to allow anyone to cast, as it was created while all of humanity and otherwise was under the rule of dragons and giants, who privatized the magic for themselves and only dished out to those who would serve them. And so you know that of the arcane magic, as well as the 8 spell schools themselves, their affiliated colors, and the creature types that they are derived from, which I will send to you later because it's expansive and I don't expect you to take notes on all of that nonsense right now.
Cool.
Then there's divine magic. Magic that is bestowed upon those who bear it through their worship of a particular deity, or simply through their dedication to concepts, ideals, or their spoken words. In this instance, the magic of Calibira, you note, as it has transpired, is divine magic. It is a bond to your word. And when the attachment to those concepts or those words is broken, it results in what is now called an oath breaker, and leaves whoever breaks their word with a plague of undeath to be thrown upon them. And then primordial magic. Primordial magic is a curious thing because it revolves around the fundamental forces of the world as they existed pre-arcane magic. But there's an even more curious thing, in that primordial magic is where verbal components come from. The words of magic are a primordial force, and while they are incorporated now into all forms of magic, there was a time when divine magic didn't have a word, it simply was. And the words of magic were the mark of druids and rangers and bards. Bards seemingly were not a creation from arcane magic. They existed before then. And then eldritch magic. The magic of the old ones. The magic of those beings in the far realm. The magic that has grown in reputation and happenstance through those deals made with patrons. And you remark in your research that all pacts made between a patron and someone else is marked in eldritch magic, regardless of who it's with. A patron deal made between a devil and whatever mortals seeking revenge or otherwise is still tied in forgotten speech. And then this will also give you bonuses and advantage on checks later on as you have researched this book now. So yeah. Nalius. Bring it home, baby. Disadvantage of -5 to stealth and attack rolls. Let's go.
So roll 2 20s. Ugh.
Well, there's a 1 there. Hey, we Gucci.
Yay, I'm gonna recover all my fucking arrows.
Hell yeah. You finally are met with the most difficult task of landing a shot on Nirl while it's a surprise. Because anytime you fire, they always turn just enough so that you will get a grazing shot, but you never actually stick them. Then finally, you are hiding in the Fey Woods, as they're referred to here. And Nirl is just in that center. We can actually even move you guys. Fuck it. You're hiding up in the trees. Joe and Ivy are over here. Nirl is looking about, trying to gauge where you're gonna come from, maneuvering around different places where you think you might be. And then, in one moment, he's looking around this corner. They're looking around this corner of the statue. You're also upside down. You swing out from a tree branch and launch the shot, and it sticks clean in the back of Nirl's haunched form. And Nirl is on the ground, upside down, legs up in the air. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, you got it. Good job. And Jill just begins to. Very well. Well done. That is, I believe, all I can teach you. Congratulations. And thank you for carrying on in my way.
Thank you for teaching me your way.
Even
if my stubbornness caused much displeasure in it.
Now, it is very fortunate that you took the crossbow expert feat, as the Way of the Rin only works with two-handed crossbows. Here's what you get. As a bonus action, you can use the feature Aim. You can give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn. But when you use this bonus action, your speed is 0, and you can't use it if you have already moved on the turn. Additionally, you get Assassin's Strike. Any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit.
And that's only with crossbow.
Yes, you only gain either of these while you are wielding a two-handed crossbow.
Got it.
And then you get some maneuvers. Ambush, Disarming Strike, Evasive Footwork, Precision Strike, and Tactical Assessment. And I can now mark. Congratulations, you have all earned a way. I'm excited to see what way Jewel decides to take, if any. So Nalius, Way of the Nogali, Faye, or Ivy, and Way of the Rin. Or Way of the Winders. Ugh. God, my fucking brain. Grimm. Very cool, very nice, very nice. And so, with everything coming in right under the margin, the 2 months that you all had set as a time limit has come. Grimm, you get 1 more week of research. Or something else, I don't know, exploring the archive, it's up to you.
Yeah, I would want to see if I can figure out if there's any secret passages in the archive besides where we are, or like talked to the people here about their stories.
There's only one person here. Well, there's 2 people. Pagliacci and... Oh, you're talking about these people.
Yes.
Never mind. I was like, the archive's only got 2 people, man.
Locke is cute, though, so I'd spend time with him.
Locke is cute.
Dibs.
Their stories are... There's some broad strokes that you guys already know, even though you don't already know. If you wanted to learn the histories of each of these cultures over a week, or you could choose any but 2, one of which would have to be gel, so you could choose any but 1 if you wanted to learn all of their histories.
And I also asked Cal to make me not blue.
No. Well, you can ask, but Cal will just say, sorry, I don't have that kind of magic.
They're a paladin.
They are trained in a way similar to a paladin. They are not a paladin themselves. I'm sorry if that was unclear earlier.
Big guy is big, so I won't talk to him. I'll talk to everybody else.
Okay, deal. He is happy to not be disturbed in his sand pit / bed / whatever. Fucking lizard man that buries himself in the sand with a big fucking fatty sword.
Yeah, there must have been some fucking shitload of sand in there for him to bury himself.
Yeah, it's a big fucking arena. Have you seen this fucking thing?
Lizards be like that.
They do be like that. Like, he only occupies, like... How
Almost
fucking...
all of it?
No.
No.
It's like, how fucking far? How long is it in
Yeah,
either
it's-
direction? It's like 100 feet wide in any direction.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Pretty big. You know, there are bigger things, but you know.
Yeah. Trask isn't one of them.
Nope. So you're learning the histories of each of these people. Making a log of it?
Yep.
All right. You'll learn the histories of the Peng, the Firewinders, the Aster, the Azael, the Nogali, the Mutant and the Pigson, as well as they also carry some other histories with them, people and cultures that for individual reasons were not brought into this or did not come. Those being from Cal, you learn of a peoples known as, God, where the fuck is this? Sorry, there's a lot of notes I have because this is a fucking place of all of my world's history. So, one moment, please. There are 1, 2, 3. You spoke with... Oh, sorry, this is... Right, okay, so those are with them. There are 6 cultures out of the people you talk to that they speak for. Those being the Gilizani, which you learned from Buakam, the Talor, also by Buakam, the Napraxi, which you learned from Etal, Mutan, which you learned from Muta. Actually, that should be the Pixen. Sorry. The Dandies, the Fae, and the Lions. The Lions and the Dandies you learn from Dyron Ill, and the Fae you learn from Cal. They seem each built around a separate archetype, isn't the right word, but umbrella cultures. They resided with a level of cultural significance with each other, primarily by... No, that's the wrong way to put it. Each of these peoples were of the same race, but were a separate culture themselves, except in the case of the Napraxi, which you learned from Etal, who were a group of Dragonborn. They, along with the what you learn are called Edal is, or was, a member of the etc., who were a peoples of purple tieflings, and they shared with the Napraxi a trait of resurrection. Their souls were eternal, ever caught in the cycle of the planes, so even whilst their bodies may perish, their souls lived on and would reincarnate, much in the way that you would understand that an elves does with the Feywild. The Nogali speak for themselves. They are the seeded. Their story is that they were born from the seed of Nogal, the first dwarf, and as part of their culture, they have an inherent bond with nature, sort of like a golden compass style, where for each mortal dwarven soul, there is a corresponding animal that they are tied with. You don't talk to Jel, never mind. The Azael were the single peoples under what were called the Redeemed. It was an otherwise colloquial term for them in honor of their first Azael, who was a fallen angel that was granted forgiveness in pursuit of his own survival. The story falls off from there, but their trait is that they were not permitted to pass on until they learned their lesson and were redeemed. This was used by some people as a loophole for immortality. However, this was taboo as part of the culture, and those people were vilified. Then there is the Pixen and Mutin, who are referred to simply as the Sun Souls, who, when their vitality bled from them and death was just around the corner for them, their souls would ignite, and from inside each of them burns a light itself. The Mutin manifested and learned to control and manipulate this power through the power of monk traditions as well as magic and such as the way of the Sun Soul Monk. But then the Pigson saw that as disrespectful to the practice of it itself. They saw that the light was something meant to be overcome with and something to revel in rather than something to train and control. And then there are the Remembered, which you learn from Raelynn. The Dandies, the Lions, and the Winders were all half-elves who, for whatever reason, could not be blocked or forgotten via magic or otherwise. They were memorable to a fault of every person that they touched. With the Dandies and the Lions, this worked in their favor as they were a culture of bards and peddlers respectively. The Lions had a tradition of worshipping cats and following in their ways. They had like Wolverine claw kind of weapons and stuff as their part of their traditions. And then there were the Winders, who themselves didn't carry a patron being as much as the rest of them. I forgot to say this earlier. The Pigson and the Mutin, they had a... Sorry for the lore dump, guys. I realize I've been doing this for like 3 minutes or something. So
you're all good. I don't mind.
Allow me to read from the annals of my world history once more. The Pigson and the Mutin share a patron deity in the form of an orc named Pigsmith. And their divide is one in how to best accept and use the powers given to them. And as such, the Dandies and the Lions also share a patron deity, that being Dandelion, the performer and cat worshipper. The Winders fall under that umbrella and hold him as a deity themselves, but their culture is separated in teachings actively by Dandelion himself. He gave them a separate list of things to follow for a reason that remains unclear. And then there are the mortals, aka the humans. They reflect the ties to life, death, and the in-between. The Peng were a culture of peoples who hold themselves as the first beings to exist on the planet, the first human to exist on Morganis was their ancestor, being that they refer to as the Spirit Mother. Wakam notes, fuck. Whoops. Wakam notes, God, I almost did it again.
I have this effect on people.
Notes that she was one of the nobility of the Peng Empire in its final years, and that is why she has purple hair, is because it is the mark of the nobility of the Peng Empire, of the nearest to the original lineage. They were the first. And then there were the Talor, otherwise known and holding a reputation for being gravekeepers and wardens. They were peoples who despised undeath and sought to root it out and remove it as a force from the world, because undeath occurs only when a body or a soul is not laid properly to rest, and as such, those beings who become undead are under a deal of torture. And so the Talor sought to correct the mistakes of those in the past and lay them to rest properly. And then there is the Gilizani, otherwise referred to as bringers of death, reapers, crafters. They have many names, as many as they have marks for reputation. Renowned warriors and never afraid to conquer or war or otherwise. They also held a glorious history of trade and crafts, as marked by the Gilizani part of the temple itself, which Valerius is currently on. We'll put him on the roof. Behind the altar here, which is blood and has a fucking katana on it, despite what it looks like, the Gilizani held the world's renown as the greatest crafters and the greatest variety in crafters. By drawing on many different practices, they were able to refine their other practices by informing them with the other trades that they knew. Very much a jack of all trades, but also drawing mastery from that aspect of themselves. And then there are the hidden, the Fae and the Aster. The Aster is Cal's home culture. They're more or less one-to-one with hobbits, save for a couple exceptions. They heralded miners and gardeners as the most holy and to be praised in their culture. They were on the highest tier of the social hierarchy. And for those who did not wish for a common hobbit's life, a common halfling's life, those who would task themselves as adventurers to go out and see the world were made to defend and be heroes in the name of their matron Aster. And then there is the Fae, who were thought to be spirits by the many who did not ever interact with them because of their traits as a hidden. They operated as a barrier between the Aster and the rest of the world in the large forest that once grew. There, they effectively operated as nature spirits, but were more realistically sort of like Princess Mononoke, I guess, in that sense of being an order of druidic rangers who task themselves with maintaining nature's holiest places and defending the Aster from the terrors of the world in the name of the deity that they did not get to truly have. No one ever communed with Aster, and as such, her statue is kept immemorial even here. That is the statue that was in the clearing when you all first entered. This place. This one.
Okay. Could you send me most of that?
Yeah, totally.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. But with the final week, we'll figure out Kaisa's stuff tomorrow, as well as all your cool new stuff, as well as whatever true actions y'all wish to partake in over the coming weeks, as well as whatever consequences. And we will determine your path then. But for now, only like 2 hours, but you know, it is what it is. I think that's a good place to call it, unless anybody has anything else they'd like to squeeze in.
Any free time I would have helped Locke.
Deal.
Sounds good.
All right, all right.
Assuming with doing my own thing and then helping with Nalius, I
Mhm.
wouldn't have time to ask about history to do with my actual parents, right?
Sure.
Because that would be the one thing I would think she would probably ask if they knew anything about.
You're asking these people?
Whoever looks the most like they might know something about fairies.
That would be between Cal and Gallios. And what are you trying to learn about your parents?
Where they were from, maybe? And they're, like, if they're fairies, I guess. I'm assuming. But
with a description of them. Your parents, one was a nature cleric, the other was a druid.
Those were my parents' though, right? Or those were my adopted parents.
Right. Oh, you're asking about parents.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Cal would remark that you greatly resemble a great many progeny of Phaednira, the matron of the Fae. But with to do, but otherwise, like, personally, not specifically, no. None of these people seem to have like a specific note towards you, other than like you look a lot like that one culture of people and their affiliates that we thought was completely dead.
Okay.
Curious. Yeah, no one's like, oh, you're like the spitting image of Paul.
No.
Nah. But make a persuasion check. Seven. Yeah, that's it. Tight. Cool.
Sounds good.
Alright. As long as we're here, y'all want to just like go poking through some maps and see what's up?
Like, do stuff in the archive?
Yeah, sure. Maybe not like raw research, but just like moving through, poking stuff, see what happens, poking around here and seeing what's up.
Yes, I would like to put my glasses on and put them and look at the mirror.
Which mirror? Oh,
The
that
one-
mirror.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
very well.
You never see too much.
All right. Are you doing this
I am
with
not
people
going to be-
around?
Nope, not me. I'm with Locke. We're hanging out.
Are you doing this with supervision, or are you just here?
Oof, that's a good question. If anybody wants to come with, I suppose. I tell the group what I'm gonna do.
I will be standing at a distance away from you. However, I am close enough to see make sure you don't kill yourself. Since
I am
those
very
guys
far away, ready to book
have
it up
not
the stairs.
served you super well in the past.
Whoa, there's 2 Naliuses.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yo, this is trippy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, you know what we can do?
Put it in the mirror.
Almost. 1 second.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Don't you just love the things I do with these glasses?
Yeah, it's the best.
Oh.
I should never have been allowed to have them.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
What about your mother? So.
So, how close are you to the mirror when you do this?
Probably like there.
Very well. You peer into the mirror. As you do, you don't see a sheet or anything. You don't see a pane of glass or reflective silver or anything. You see through it as if it were simply a gateway, simply an arch. And on the other side, you see you as well, with the glasses peering back at you. And then things start to get weird. As as you peer at yourself, there's a growing curiosity. You feel a little bit of like a sense of stomach sickness, but it's manageable. What do you do?
Like nausea.
Yes. Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
So, seeing this, I feel nausea, but I'm also curious.
Yes.
Mm. Step closer.
And your reflection steps closer. Or your lack thereof.
Well, last time we touched the mirror, it was just skin touching. But it is like a portal of some sort, I think, in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I touched the mirror.
Okay. You touch the mirror, and as you touch yourself. And then your fingers lock.
Oh shit.
Just on an instinct, your fingers lock. And suddenly, there's one of you. And now, things get really weird.
Oh shit.
Roll a d20.
Oh god, okay, I shouldn't have done this.
Really?
2.
Okay.
I was ever so curious.
Curiosity killed the Nalius.
It happens.
What do I do here? What happens?
I would just like to point out that I've been thinking about this mirror with the glasses for all fucking week.
I believe you.
What? I just helped level you up. Can you maybe try not to die in 5 seconds?
That's not really the concern here.
Oh god, I'm curious now.
Nalius, you join with your reflection.
Uh-huh.
And
But I'm on this side of the mirror.
you have stepped into each other and merged.
Oh, so we're in the middle of them.
Well, here's the thing.
Hmm.
You are now playing a different Nalius.
Okay.
Everything that we've gone through with this campaign is a little bit different for you.
Okay.
You still have the glasses. You still have done your training with Jel and Faye.
Mm-hmm.
But your... Sorry, I need to find the right thing real quick. We have some talking to do this week. I'll just say that.
Okay.
As you are no longer a hunter.
Oh. Oh God.
You are something else. And we will talk about what that change is this week as we reestablish what's going on.
I have made solid mistakes.
You, for now, will go with this. Nalius, you step through the mirror into what you can only assume is your reflections world. What do you do?
I turn back and see if my reflection turns back.
You see no one.
Oh shit. I suppose I go exploring to see if my party is still part of this.
Everyone else that's here. Ivy, Grimm, you're nearby about to run up the stairs? Yeah. We'll say Raelynn, Kaiza are here too, fuck it.
Where's Locke? I'm hanging with Locke.
Locke would have been on the first floor.
Locke's been meandering. He's had like 2 weeks to explore things that he normally wouldn't have access to, and he's not about to let the opportunity slip.
Good point.
But for the purpose of this, we'll say Locke is somewhere else.
No.
Faye, Neril, and Kaiza. You all see Nalius touch the mirror and then turns back. Almost as, or no, sorry, I'm not describing this right. You see Nalius goes forward, touches the mirror, and then seems to step through concurrently with themselves stepping out of it. And when you look in the mirror, you see Nalius's reflection. Nalius, you see your party. Except for Grimm. But that tracks.
Yeah.
Well, that was weird. So, where's... So, the Nollies that I know is in the mirror, and I can tell that, or no?
No, you just see the reflection of this Nalius. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Everything is perfectly normal.
Yep, you see Nalius just as she was. It was a weird bit with the mirror, though. Stepping out, stepping in, and stepping out, that's weird.
So, what just happened? Are we role-playing this now without Kaiza, or no?
Kaiza's here, but conveniently non-verbal.
Okay, well, what just happened?
Actually, yeah, for that purpose, we'll say Kaiza just isn't here. That's easier.
Yep.
You clearly touched the mirror and something happened, and then now nothing happened?
Now, am I role-playing the one who's on the other side of the mirror, or am I role-playing the one that's on this side of the mirror right now?
Jesus Christ.
You look towards the mirror, and you don't see anybody.
Uh-huh. So I look further, I look away from the mirror and see if Faye was back there. Ivy was back there.
Yes, you see the Ivy that you're familiar with. She waves at you.
Mm.
And like gives an up, down, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I do kind of a shrug. And then walk over
Walk.
and say, huh?
Walk.
Oh,
We can
shit.
also unsnap to grid you.
Everything's all black.
Oh, that's because there we go. You should
Oh,
be
shit.
good now.
Okay. That was weird.
No kidding. What happened?
I think me and me switched places.
Does this Nalius still have the glasses on?
Yep.
So, okay. I'm so confused. So who are you then?
Nalius.
But if you switched places, then you're not the Nalius that went on adventures with us. You're some other Nalius?
I don't know, I'm just as confused.
Okay, my head hurts. We need to So if I want my Nalius back, how do I get them out of that mirror thing?
I suppose I could try touching it again.
I guess so?
For a second, I thought somebody disconnected. I was just like, oh shit.
Nah, rhythm bot.
I don't know if that would work at all, but it's worth a try, I guess.
So then I turn around and look to see if the mirror's there. And obviously it isn't.
You
right?
look
Because
and you see an archway, empty and without your reflection.
I turn back to Ivy and I go, it's just an archway. That's all I see.
Oh dear. Okay. I need to find Grimm and Kaiza. This is too much.
Broke the game. I broke the game.
No, not at all. But Nalius, you now have a choice.
Uh-huh.
Do you continue with your party, or do you continue with these people?
So if I were to turn back around and walk through the archway, I continue with my party.
That seems to be the case, yes. As you can still see your Ivy that you're familiar with, and you are currently talking with this reflection.
I'm gonna try walking through the archway and see what happens.
All right. You walk through and get there, baby, get there.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
Moving.
You walk up to the what you assumed was a mirror and now see as an archway, and you step through.
Okay.
And so now you return to the reflection with your Ivy and Neryl.
I look back at the mirror to see if it's still a mirror or an archway.
An archway.
It's an archway. I take the glasses off.
You see a mirror. And you see your reflection. Though not the one that you merged with, you just see you.
That was fucky. I put the glasses away.
Very well. On this side of the mirror, Ivy, you just saw Nalius walk through the mirror and no one else come back.
Okay, Nero, let's go find the others, because that's not good.
Yes, very distressing.
I don't really want to go near that thing.
Hmm.
It's absolutely necessary, so let's go figure this out.
Perhaps for the best.
Maybe somebody else here knows about it.
Maybe. Who else could fill in the vengeance plot that's so desperately needed?
Oh, God.
Perhaps I will? Who could I? Ooh. Perhaps I stab Edelgran in the back. That would be glorious.
I love Nero.
You okay there, buddy? Because,
Deep in thought, deep in thought.
I love them so much.
Probably not, though. I'm not a player character after all. Or will I be?
Let's, go find Grimm. Where did Grimm go?
Upstairs.
Downstairs? Upstairs?
Upstairs.
Upstairs?
Where's
Alright.
upstairs?
Yeah, you're going in the right direction.
Okay. Bam.
Yes, we will go up to one moment. Sorry, I need to make things visible. Yes, and then I was like, you got a bone to pick about it? Your jokes are as good as ever, Pagliacci.
Why is the skeleton here?
I yearn for death.
Right now, so do I.
At this point, Luck is healed up. As of you, but that's besides the point.
I don't matter.
Ivy and Nero, you approach. Oh, Ray, you can't see this, can you?
What? I can see what's going on.
Oh, okay, good. Carry on.
This map was completely open to us, I think.
Hmm.
Guys, we may have a problem. Hello. Oh, hi.
A problem? Do tell. Oh, I'm not even using the right. Fuck.
Are you repeating that?
Please.
Where the fuck is it?
That means yes. And I'm excited because I love Pagliacci's voice.
Yes, there it is. What seems to be the issue?
So, Grimm, and she very pointedly looks at Grimm.
That's me.
Our very lovely Nalius went through a mirror somehow after touching it, and the reflection appeared. I think that's what was going on. And then said reflection went back through what looks like an empty archway, and now is no longer there, and I cannot find Nalius anywhere.
Oh no!
That tracks.
You heard anything while you're here? Yeah, those glasses were causing a little bit of too much curiosity killed the cat situation. Messing with artifacts you don't understand is not always good.
Yes, who would do such a thing?
Not me. So,
Well, I did try to warn her.
yes, I think we all did.
Yes, Grimm, you are very wise and smart. Yes.
Oh my god. However, does anybody know about this mirror and what is going on and how we might be able to get Nalius back?
I know I'm not going anywhere near it.
The mirror on the next level in the room with the music and such?
There's foliage and yes, music and yep.
I know that it has divination magic on it in the time that I've had to investigate the lower levels, but past that, nothing specifically.
Do you know if there's anywhere in this building that I would find the answer to that question? Because being down a teammate.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yes, thousands of years of lore. There must be something somewhere.
Yeah, finding it quickly, though, is gonna be an issue.
If you can put me in the right area, I might be able to.
I don't
figure
even
out.
know how those lower libraries are organized. I've been working on it, but it'll take a long time, longer than I think you actually have time for, unfortunately. Fuck. This isn't good for you. No. Maybe. No. I genuinely don't know what to do about this. I've heard of people going through mirrors before, but I've never dealt with anyone actually doing it. Remember, I'm just the guard here. As much as I am an archivist, like, I mainly just deal in transcribing. I don't know that much.
So, do we go back downstairs? Or do we just abandon this situation and come back later?
It sounds like you're pretty fucked.
Thank you for your input.
Yes, I try my best.
I don't want anything to do with that marriage.
All the damage Grimm has taken is psychic damage from dealing with Pagliacci.
Speaking of, let me take some more. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Nero and Pagliacci laughing at the same time and jumping around you in circles.
Grimm wild magic surges and casts fireball.
No,
Beautiful.
the books!
So,
There's no books in this area.
I don't think losing a teammate is the best option, but I don't see how we're supposed to get her out of the mirror.
No.
Yes, that
If
seems...
I thought I could do anything, I'd risk going near it, but I don't trust it.
Why don't you trust it?
I don't know how to answer that.
Oh my god.
It seems like someone's pretty full of it.
I'm gonna stab Pagliacci.
Oh no, but his head goes flying. His
Hey.
head goes.
Fucking turn off, God. His head gets just clean shot off his body, but is still there clattered on the ground and sits up and is just like...
Can I just throw it down the hallway so it takes time for him to have to say anything? Yeah, I'm pretty weak. That looks about as far as I would throw it.
It sounds like you know something. What is it? I see that look in your eyes. Also, you're looking much whiter than I remember. From, like, yesterday.
Please just let me not be blue. That'd be great.
Oh, why are these not?
Kana's here. Hi.
Ignore that. Do not pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You're also not here. Oh, there's Kaiza.
Your voice thing's still activated too.
Shit.
Oh my goodness.
None of these are updated correctly. That's a shame.
It's fine. I'm just not blue now. We figured it out.
That's funny.
Because it's boring and ugly.
Okay.
It's like
I don't know what to do with this situation.
No.
Do you truly care that
Little for your teammate? I know you know something. What is it? Spill the beans.
Again, why is the skeleton here?
I yearn for death, but also your secrets.
I'm actively not looking or listening to the skeleton as much as I can.
It's very difficult
as he attempts to occupy as much of your vision as possible. But you can try.
The skeleton thinks you know something about the mirror. Is that true?
No.
Okay. So
I think he's lying.
I want to insight check Grimm. And this stupid skeleton.
Alright, Grimm and Pagliacci. Pagliacci will make a persuasion check. Grimm, you will make a deception check.
I don't really know anything, though.
Alright, Pagliacci got a 7. That was higher than I expected for him.
Well, I got a 7 for Pagliacci since he's on the north, and okay.
I know nothing.
Grimm is a blank fucking slate. You can make decisions as you wish. Pagliacci, as funny as he is, doesn't seem to be explicitly lying. He may not be, he may be potentially fucking with the situation a little, but that seems like there are things to joke about and there are things to not, you know? And is being very insistent.
Like, if I go think about the thing downstairs, is there a way to figure out where I might need to look, or is it just like
for the mirror?
No, anything on the mirror, yeah.
I will say you probably remember Grimm's reaction when we first found it.
There is that. But if you would like to peruse the books, go ahead and give me an investigation check. As we go back down to the Dawn War layer. And yes. Ivy, with an 11, you are looking through all the titles of these books, and there is nothing you're seeing that would suggest anything to do specifically with this mirror, or even mirrors in general.
Can I make a check as well? I said I was helping.
Yeah, sure.
Yay.
I just want to apologize that I have made this go on longer than what it was going to go on for.
That's fine. We'll close up in a second. 12. Same shebang.
This is an interesting scene, though, which is nice.
Okay, so I'd like to go over to this mirror area.
Very well.
I would not like to go over to the mirror.
That's
nope.
what I thought. Very well.
can't.
I am keeping my fucking distance.
Faye,
I also
you
can't
go
see.
over to the other fucking Jesse Eisenberg. There you go. You should be able to see now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was also on the wrong map.
But I moved you
It says
all
I have
over. What
one
the fuck?
charge.
I moved myself. It's fine.
You've
I
long
one
rested
charge of-
multiple times. You're good.
Oh, okay. So I'd like to archivist and see what I can see in potentially history
Oh.
in this area.
Okay. Make a history check at advantage.
Okay. History. 22. Nope, that was 17. I don't know why it rolled twice.
Ooh. Okay, this is about to get spicy. Sorry, I need to crack my bones for this.
Oh God. Oh good lord.
Good luck. Come with. Where's my boy?
Yeah, I've really done it this time.
Yeah, Locke will be here. Let me pull him over.
He cute.
He is cute.
There he is.
Love
He
Locke.
is checking out what is going on over here because he is curious.
And cute.
And cute.
So, Ivy,
He's curiously cute.
you
Hey.
activate your archivist sight and peer up at the mirror. And
Yep.
as you feel yourself begin to hit the rewind on time and see its history, you see. Oh, God, this is good. You see your party come through here initially. You see Grimm's reaction and all of that. You go back further, and you see Sicht looking at the archway. And you see that he hands himself something. Or rather, that something goes through the mirror and is dropped. You see... what the... You see pushed through the mirror is another mirror. Like, big, fat, large, almost the size of this, just barely a bit smaller. And you see that he takes his cloak and pushes it in and carries on. Roll a
Yeah.
d20.
You just reminded me I had that portable hole that's not in my inventory.
All right. Damn, you always roll high on like the fuckery checks. Which
What?
like I'm
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not upset at it. It's just very funny.
Save my ass checks, you mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you go further. You go back further to when this layer was being constructed. You see the denizens under the Dawn War go through our building up this place. You see books written, the wood panels put in for this very room. You see the enchantment magics used to weave the song for this room is constructed. Several Wodrin wood elves, Wodrin being my in-world term for those, druids weaving the woods, and you see them build an arch, and you see them cast a spell in order to establish it. And here's the weird thing. So there's the archway, and it is glass. But then as they cast it, you see another set of them on the other side doing different incantations, completing the ritual. And you, as you rewind to the beginning of this ritual, to where it is glass and the ritual begins, you just see a flash of light, and you begin to see a grid. Not square grid. You see one dot come from one path and split into 5 more. And then that path and split into 5 more. And on and on and on into infinity. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Or sorry, intelligence saving throw.
9.
9 indeed. You peer into this infinite pattern, and you have a flash of vision of the Jade Kraken.
Ugh.
You see its face in your mind's eye, and then it is materialized in what feels like almost a dreamscape. And it grips onto you with its tendrils and attempts to suffocate and bind you. And as you feel your life begin to be siphoned out of you, you hear a and you feel tearing behind you and scouring and heat. No, not heat. Cold heat.
Oh, okay.
What initially felt hot, it's sort of like fucking freezer burn.
Okay.
And you feel something grab onto your behind. Teeth and scales. And you feel yourself flown. As you attempt to peer around, you see white wings. And you feel yourself let go and dropped. And as you peer back, you see not 1, but 2 ancient white dragons. Make a perception check. On the back of one of them, you see the shadow of a figure, and then you rise back.
Like I'm back to me now?
Yes, you are back here.
Okay. Wow, that was trippy.
Are you okay? You
I'm gonna
realize
pass
you are
on.
now on the floor.
I'm gonna get up. And then I'm gonna pass on all of that information to everybody.
What the
You
fuck
shout
does
because
that
I'm way
mean?
over here.
I will first move over to Grimm, who's terrified of the mirror. There. Okay. And then I will pass on all this information to everybody. So I don't really know what any of it means. But I mean, there's definitely something going on.
You saw a grid.
Yes, it came from near the mirror, and then
You
Spiral
looked,
Passages.
you saw the flash, and then you were somewhere else. You did not feel a physical form until you were interacted with.
So
Do
I
I
don't know where I
kn-
saw that, but I did.
Sorry?
Do I know of any mythological origin story regarding white dragons?
Make a history check at advantage. Yes.
Maybe.
Not one
I've cracked
you
your
knew
case.
until a short time ago. Or at least one that you will come to realize perhaps in this loose time stream. You recall a tale from Cal of Nira of the Fae, the matron goddess, matron deity, bearing many children of the world, but premier among them, she bore 2 white dragons as her guardians and children.
And did she ride one of them?
At some point,
I will
probably.
In this loose time stream, I will share that when I learn it.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So, what does the dragon and all that extra stuff have to do with the enchantment that was clearly placed on this mirror that has a dual side to it?
I think you saw the beginning of time.
Oh, I'll do you one better. Time itself. And the changes I'm just... Oh. Can I share that? Hang on.
Is this Locke saying this shit?
No, this is Neryl saying that. Oh.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. Do you remember when you decided to bind me to your service?
Yes.
What if you didn't do that?
What didn't do that? Wouldn't you just have been stuck in the basement of that?
Yes. What I'm saying is, what if each point and where it spreads is a choice? What if these are all different times from different choices?
Okay. But how does that help us get Nalius back out of the mirror?
I'm not sure if it helps.
Gone.
I think it applies some new context.
So
there's now 2 Naliuses in the other place?
Perhaps. Or perhaps only one can exist in a single space. Who knows? Perhaps when she crossed through, they joined and now there's only one. And now, as this conversation goes on, Nalius, sorry, not Nalius, Ray.
Oh, yes.
Would you like to continue playing Nalius? Or would you like to play a different character?
Can I sit on that one?
Okay. I need you to decide by next week with time to, if you do decide to play a new character, time to
I will decide by the end
stuff.
of Monday. I will decide by the end of Monday.
I will sit you with that.
Actually, you know what?
Can you decide now, actually, because I'm now realizing that there's a pretty dope way that I can close this off if you decide now.
Yes. Which decision is doper?
That is entirely subjective. it's up to you.
I'd like to continue playing Nalius.
Very well. Then you all will begin to see the space around you grow gray. And then in a different timeline, where the world is not gray, we will see. Okay. Nalius emerge from the mirror. Nalius.
Can I not be blue in this world, please?
It's all black.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Please.
Okay.
Roll a d20. Grimm.
Roll a d20.
Not you, Grimm.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy. That's a big old middle finger to you.
Yeah, that's what you like to do. Okay.
There's a chance. If you didn't get a 1, you had at least a 50% probability, but no, sorry. In this world, you remain blue.
Well, then nothing tips me off.
Nalius, you... Oh, you know what? We get to do this fun shit. Hang on.
Can I take Nalius's role?
Are you sure you want to be the glasses user that walks through mirrors?
No, I meant your role.
Oh, my role?
No.
Because
Got
being
it.
blue literally does nothing except make me sad.
You're blue, dabba-dee, dabba-da.
Dabba die, dabba dee, dabba die, dabba dee, dabba die. Oh God.
Where
I actually
is...
super like the color blue.
I think it looks nice.
I don't.
At least you can see
No.
your tattoos.
There we go. This is...
But it's
This
not
works, this
fun if I
works.
can see them.
You already reap the benefits to some extent, or at least you will.
Good for science, but sad.
Where the fuck? There we go.
Oh.
Nalius. You have stepped through and merged with your reflection. You turn back and you see yourself acting not as you, but as them.
Mhm.
And now you reside in this reflection realm.
Mhm.
And you see a funny thing. Because you see one Ivy, but then you see a second Ivy next to her. And you see Neryl actually exactly where they were in both instances. It's almost like they have an increased contrast related to the rest of the space. And for a moment, you see a light that you've seen once before in Edelgrand's dungeon. And previously, you looked away. And here, you maintain that record and look away. And you feel its warmth and its heat encompass you. And you feel this sense of time to go back. And you feel yourself step through onto solid ground. And you see your comrades, except for Kaiza, who is trancing or something, or training, who knows, off in the distance. They seem to be discussing something.
I begin walking towards them.
What if it was different times? Oh, hey, Nalius is here.
Hi, guys.
Nalius.
What are you discussing?
Wait, is that actually Nalius?
I think I'm actually Nalius. What do you mean, am I actually Nalius?
Well, another one is into the mirror and then disappeared. Thank you, Neryl.
May I lick
There was
you?
another one.
I'm gonna go with a hard pass on that.
Then I will have to settle for the nose. Yes, it's her.
Well, it's a relief to have you back because we were looking a little bit scarce.
Okay. I have no idea what that mirror thing was about, but at some point I was in a mirror realm and I felt some kind of light that I saw when didn't see. I turned away from when we were with Edelgron and some crazy shit.
It looks like you went through a mirror, and I will describe everything that I saw when I went back through the history thing.
That makes me touching that mirror seem all the more dangerous.
Well, maybe this will teach you that touching strange objects such as red glasses and strange mirrors might not be the best option.
Mm-hmm.
Should check them out first.
I'll take that into note.
And with that, we will call the session.
Yeah. Good job.
Woohoo! Time shenanigans! Woo!
Confusing! Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thanks for Nero.
Woo! You're the one with the fucking archivist site. Actually, also, everyone gets to. We'll do this next session when Jewel is here, but you're also all now level 5.
Ooh.
And Nalius
I'm
and
muted.
Grimm.
Uncanny dodge, bitches.
Hell yeah. Nalius and Grimm, which skill tree would you like to put your points into?
Wild magic.
Very well.
Did you say do that now or like next time?
Skill trees now, but we'll level up next time.
Okay.
Just so that we can do it with Jewel.
So I don't have to worry about it immediately. Okay.
Correct.
There's Draconic and there's what else? What was my other one?
Mundane Soul, which... We'll talk in a second, actually.
Okay.
But so Grimm, you went with wild magic. So that's now at 5. Ivy, your...
I level up the skill tree of dating lock.
Mode. I might go for him too.
I'm pretty sure
I'm the charismatic one. And now we're the same
Shit.
color.
Shit, you're right.
Way cuter.
Everyone, please. There's enough of me to go around. Nah, you ain't like that.
I was gonna say it seemed the type.
Ooh, lag. Oh, hell yeah. I'm all about this monster fuckery. Although, I suppose we need her permission first.
I mean, now I'm jealous. Come on, man.
Fine, if you're gonna take Locke from me, then I'm taking Pagliacci, and me and him are gonna have a fantastic time together.
Oh, yes, you will certainly bone down.
That was a bad dad joke right there.
It was a great dad joke.
Yaha! Well done, Locke.
I will happily not make any move on Pagliacci. Closer in any regard ever.
Yeah, preferably the floor below where we don't have to listen to him either.
Yeah.
All right. Well, GG, y'all. Cool session. Cool session. A lot of lore that I now get to just add to the world anvil that I'm setting up, so that's nice.
Yeah, I can't believe you're gonna actually make me write all of that in my journal when I actually write all of that shit down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, bud. You're the
Hi.
one who wanted to
Welcome
learn
back.
what's up with all the fucking ancient
you
cultures, and you got it.
you fucking told me to.
And I got 3 Yahtzees and I didn't fucking win!
That sucks.
Oof. Hey, Jewel, how you
Everybody's
doing?
like, oof. Tamara asks, how you doing?
Did you stop?
Thank
She says she's okay.
Did you stop streaming duties?
Had a good
No, this
time.
is funny.
Ate too much
Oh my dear
greasy food.
heavens!
And my stomach is super upset, and I agree with me.
Does Jewel know that?
We're still streaming.
Hello!
Hey, good
Best part
stuff,
of this
good
is
stuff.
I can't hear anyone. Ouch.
If she
We
watched
can
the
hear-
stream, maybe we would. Maybe they could.
I mean, I was thinking about it,
Hmm. Hey,
but then I played dice games with my parents.
Oh, actually,
Actually,
as a sign off, as it is Father's Day, I wanted to thank my dad for fucking taking care of me as a kid and, you know, not always making my life a living hell. So, hey, Dad, if you do watch